Aloha, everybody. Welcome, those of you joining us live, as well as those of you who will be watching the replay. It's great to have all of you guys here. Don't forget that we do have a really fun packet for this one. So you can see underneath me, packets are available at our website. And go ahead and grab that if you'd like, though we will show everything on screen as we always do. But we're just really excited because this, I don't know, this is one I've been playing for a while. I've always really liked the chord changes of this song. So yeah, it's just really exciting. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Yahoo! Nice. So we see a lot of people are in some very chilly places in the live chat. I'm so sorry. Hopefully we can help warm you up. You on occasion might hear like the sound of rain because it has been raining really hard off and on. And we don't have an attic. So it's like when it rains here, it really is like you hear it through the ceiling. So, oh, we have people from all over the world joining us, from Wales as well as the Netherlands, Goedenavond, Germany. I saw some UK folks as well as a bunch of mainland USA and Canada. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's always so sweet. I love these live get-togethers because I love just getting to see folks from all over the place. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Man. We've got... well, I guess, do you want me to get into any of the things we have coming up yet, or do you want to wait a little bit, Craig?
We can talk a little bit about that because we'll mention that as when we officially start as well.
Okay, so some of you may or may not know that on November 20th, which is if you're live tomorrow, that we've got our backyard concert, season 2, concert number 1. That's right, concert number 1, our premiere. The premiere of the concert is tomorrow. It's going to feature 3 amazing musicians, Brian Tolentino, Hale Hakusiburi, and Kama Hopkins. They are known as Nue na Ukulele Ekolu, and it's a really... I've watched the concert several times, actually. I really enjoy it, and I love the music. So I know that you guys will love it, too. Make sure to join us for the live premiere so that you can win goodies. We have goodies from Ukulele Magazine, as well as Hawaiian Host and GHS Strings and more. So if you join us in the live chat, you'll instantly be put into the drawing. And I announce, usually toward the last couple songs, I announce winners and then have you email us so that we can send you your goodies. Let's see. Just looking at the chat some more. Oh, nice. Chris Miller's joining us from the Ala Moana Hotel. That they are actually one of the sponsors for our backyard concert series. We love working with them. We are going to be doing our Hawaii ukulele retreat. Some of you in the chat I know are going to be joining us. And that one I think we've got a lot of the details now laid out for the classes. So we're hoping to have classroom materials to you guys by end of January. So you'll have a little bit of time with it beforehand. We don't want you to have too much time with it, though, because we want to make sure we can teach you the stuff so that you don't play it and then maybe pick up bad habits that we have to unlearn at the retreat. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Yay! Oh, sweet. It's good to see you, Laura. I'm so glad you're excited about the song today. The song we're going to be going over is Christmas Luau. This is a fun Christmas classic that I did not know until, a few years ago. And it's such a fun song. The chord changes are really great, and they lend themselves really well to kind of jazzing up. And the lyrics are really fun, and it's just a really great melody. So just all in all, a fantastic song. So that's part of why we picked it today. And just to give you something that Craig always is like, you can't prep too early for Christmas. So we figured we'd go ahead and start you guys off with a holiday song so that by the time that Christmas does get here, you'll have it all ready and done. The Scholar Packet this time includes the 12 Days of Christmas Hawaiian style. It's a chord melody. You can actually use it for the regular 12 Days of Christmas, or there's a Dr. Demento one that I really like, etc. But we included the lyrics, number one day of Christmas, I think is sometimes what it's referred to, besides Hawaiian 12 Days of Christmas. So we included that in the Scholar Packet. So I'm recording that lesson either today or tomorrow. I haven't recorded it yet. So when you purchase it, you'll see you will be emailed a link. So if you purchase the Scholar Packet, we will send you that. And there's also backing tracks for Christmas Luau that we will be sending out as well, so that you can actually practice easy versions at certain speeds and the harder version at certain speeds. I find playing with backing tracks to be super helpful. It allows you to play with a metronome without playing with the metronome, because the backing track, of course, is played in time. So, but it's way more fun than just hearing tick, 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 tick. Right. So that's part of why we like doing those for you folks.
A couple other little things too. First of all, thank you again for just being here. A special thank you to those who are purchasing packets that help us kind of keep everything going. Some Artist Works news. We did a big open mic a few years ago, but we are going to be doing a recital this year. So definitely start practicing up if you're one of our Artist Works students. And if you aren't, there is an actually huge sale going on right now.
This is the time.
Is it this button?
Yes.
There we go. So if you've been on the fence, come check it out. It's just a lot of fun. We have some... Sarah actually just did a bunch of new theory lessons.
Yeah, there's a whole section now that's called practical. It's called Practical Theory for Ukulele, and we are adding to it. I've only recorded part 1, which is still like a lot of information. So part 1 that I cover goes over major keys, how to make a major scale, and then how to make all of these chords that we play. And then I also go into a little bit of like chord substitutions, a little bit in a transposing, though we have an official transposing lesson within the school itself. But coming up is going to be, we're going to learn about minor keys and what chords you'll find, etc. Minor scales, because there's 3 main minor scales, as well as we're going to have a section on reading music, reading a lead sheet, all just the practical stuff that's helpful to know when you play ukulele, so that you can play with other instruments as well as other ukulele players. So, but the first part of that series is up and running. It's under the Lessons tab under Practical Theory for the Ukulele.
Now, some people have been asking about our travels for next year.
Yes.
So
put yourself on screen.
We are hosting a few things here in Hawaii, but we have 3 big mainland events next year. One which we can talk about, which is our Long Beach retreat.
Yes.
That's going to be including Herb Otto Jr. and Brian Tolentino.
Bringing Hawaii to you.
And there will be one other event in Southern California that we can't announce yet, as well as one not really Midwest.
No, I thought we could announce the Southern California one. It was in the newsletter, Mitch.
Really?
Yeah, it was at the bottom of the newsletter, our pictures.
Oh, that's news to me. Okay, so we are going to be part of the LA Ukulele Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize you announced
that was
yet.
at the bottom of the thing.
See, there's so much going on.
Yes.
So we'll be in Southern California twice next year, and we can't announce the third one yet.
Not yet. We'll be able to announce it next week.
Yes,
I
next
think.
week. Keep an eye out. Make sure you're part of our mailing list. That's going to be a fantastic event.
Mm-hmm.
Very special.
Very special event.
But we are looking to start traveling in earnest in 2024. So Cameron is getting a little bit older, which is a little bit easier and a little bit harder at the same time. But we feel pretty confident now that we can start doing some of these smaller trips. Let's see.
Thank you so much, Carol. Busy Carol is in the chat. Carol P. Thank you so much she is posting links and things so that if you want to know about the retreats, she posted the code for the Artist Works 40% off. This is the time of year. Most people tend to subscribe because they always have this sale every year.
I think you can actually re-up your
And also, yes,
subscription.
if you are already a member, you can actually use that code and re-up for future years. So keep that in mind so that you can continue to get that off.
Now, I know there's only a few minutes left before we officially get started with the workshop, but are there any questions that we can help answer regarding the ukulele or anything else that we might have a little time for to do if there's something that's been itching at you? Aloha, everyone. Bonnie, Rob, great to see you guys. Kathleen, Sheila. Oh, Andre, great to see you as well. So,
Yay.
sorry, catching up with chat now. But yes, any questions that we can help answer, anything, transitions, chords, let us know. We definitely have a bit of time before we start.
In December, we are going to... we have a couple of events coming up in December. We have another weekend with us. We try to kind of make it so that you only have to worry about us for one weekend, which is going to be December 10th and December 11th. We have our live stream. We're going to do another holiday one. It'll be a chord melody one. I haven't picked the songs yet. I think we'll be able to do 2 tunes. And we have, excuse me, Backyard Concert number 2. The artists are going to be announced. Artists will be announced on November 20th. Which is tomorrow, but during our the concert premiere. So you'll know if you join us for the concert, you will know who the artist will be for concert number 2. We are very, very excited. So it's going to be really amazing. So.
And if you're on the fence of joining us tomorrow, I'm going to play just a really quick
clip.
Yes. Because they are absolutely
so
amazing. This will be like 45 seconds maybe. We'll be right back.
Rainbows over paradise. Rainbows over paradise. Rainbows over my heart. Silvery little raindrops are like the tears that fall. Listen to my love song as we drift apart. Rainbows over paradise are rainbows in my heart.
Awesome.
All right.
Yep.
Terry, that is a fantastic question in the chat. Will we ever see a high G/low G kind of lesson and when and how to use advantages to each? I think we'll team up with Neil Chin maybe, and we'll do an arrangement with the high G and he'll do it with the low G. And
we'll see.
That might be fun.
We'll see. We could also we'll see. I love Neil, don't get me wrong, but he's super, super busy. So that's why I'm like, we'll see. He might be too busy. That guy, he's got like a wait list. I swear. Oh, I'm so excited. This is so great seeing everybody. Oh, Lisa, thank you for joining us at the Windward Mall. We actually did sort of a preview to this lesson. We're actually going to expand on it during this. So hopefully you've practiced the stuff that we taught at Ukulele Club, because then you'll be prepared for the first half. And then there's more, which is always exciting. Yay. I'm so glad folks are excited about Niue. This is exciting. Awesome. So many. Oh, I hope you might hear that. That's the rain. Oh my goodness. It's been a rainy winter already for us. I shouldn't complain because many people are dealing with snow right now. So. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. I'm glad you got your strap already. That was fast. So yes, I am back in production on straps, everybody. Finally, after a 2-year hiatus, I'm finally making straps. So I'm very excited to get to start doing that again. So thank you guys so much for supporting and for holding out and waiting for me to make them again. We've got a couple holiday ones too. There's a wreath and a poinsettia that I've got. I haven't found a suitable one that I like working with yet for Hanukkah, so I'm sorry I don't have any Hanukkah straps available this year. But I'm always on the lookout for something that's suitable. So, yay! But yes, feel free to visit our website. When you get your packet, you can also check out and get an ukulele strap too if you'd like. I do make them here, actually, at this desk. I set up my machine and hop to it. Yay! Let's see. So, you can lady, for the part 2, there's a link that's listed in the original packet that we gave you from the Windward Mall. Hopefully you can still hear me over the rain. From the Windward Mall, it's in the Mahalo letter either says Aloha or Mahalo, I can't remember, but it's the second page of that packet. There should be a link that you click on that'll take you there. There should be a link that will take you there. So just double check and look at that page. Yes, Kathleen, I know that the rain is super loud in comparison to snow, which is pretty quiet and fluffy. But it should pass fairly quickly. We just keep having these little showers. All right, should we get our ukes out? Maybe we can drown out the rain by playing. Make sure you're in tune, everybody. Was there any other housekeeping, Craig? Okay, if we could, there we go. So I have here just the basic of the song. I've cut off the name title so that we can see all the lyrics, but the chords aren't too bad. Remember, if you have trouble playing B flat, you could always play B flat 6 instead, which has an open G string, open 2 1 1, instead of the regular B flat. So we're going to just go through, we'll play it a couple of times. That way, for those of you that don't know it, you'll get a better understanding of the song. So feel free to jump in when you feel ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the holly we're singing and dancing, and ho, oh, molly, molly, mama and her moo, papa and his malo, greeting iconic, behea mahalo. Sister gathered flowers for a lay, brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play, mele on the new of Hawaii. The tables were loaded with plenty of cow, oh, salmon and steaming hot lao. We ate and talked story until we were pow. It was really my ka at the Christmas luau. Okay, let's do it again, a little faster. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the holly we're singing and dancing, and ho, oh, molly, molly, mama and her moo, papa and his malo, greeting iconic, behea mahalo. Sister gathered flowers for a lay, brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play, mele o the new of Hawaii Day. The tables were loaded with plenty of cow, oh, pee and salmon and steaming hot lao. We ate and talked the story until we were pow. It was really my ka at the Christmas luau. C7, really my ka at the Christmas luau. Last time, was really my ka at the Christmas end it there for now. Most of the time when the song's played, you go through it all the way through, and then you actually jump back to the chorus, and then you do the last verse again. That's a lot of times how you'll hear people do this song. But hopefully you feel a little bit more confident about the song, and you can see it's only a few chords. It's not too bad. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to go in and add some extra movement. So you get to hold, well, I'll get to that in a second. Let me just go ahead and scroll up so that we can look at how I'm laying the song out. Excuse me. So for this, we have an A section and a B section. The A section is your verses, and then the B section is the part that was in that red box on the other page. It's sort of the chorus. And for this, if you are doing an A section where you're not going to the chorus, you wouldn't play that F7 that's in that A section. So I'm referring to this guy right here. For now, we're just going to play it so that we, just to keep things simplified. But that way we know how many measures things are. So I laid this out with a box chart so that we have all of the measures. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to change all of those C7s. And we're going to add, if we were in class together, I'd say, how many people were in the Jazz Jam workshop? Raise your hand. So we're actually going to pull something that we talked about in the Jazz Jam class, which is making 2/5 movement happen when there's a 5 chord listed. So C7, if you notice, I give you a handy chart at the very bottom of the page where I have my F major scale listed, and then I have it numbered, and then underneath it, I have the sort of rules that you typically follow. The big M means major. So your 1 chord is usually a major. In this key, it would be F. The 2 chord, which is one that I'm wanting us to use, is a little m, and that stands for minor. So we're going to have a G minor. I'm going to end up making it a G minor 7 because I find it's a little bit easier to transition from G minor 7 to C7. So there's that. And then your 3 is usually a minor, A minor. Your 4 chord is that B flat. It's usually a B flat major, and it is in the song we have. The 5 chord is 90% of the time it's going to be a dominant 7 chord, which is based on a major chord. And I talk about that in that Jazz Jam class, actually. I go in more into depth about that. And then our 6 chord is usually a minor, so D minor, and then the 7 would be a diminished triad, but we're not going to deal with the 7 at all today, so don't worry about it right now. So what we're going to do is every place that you see a C7, we are going to add a G minor 7. So I'm going to go ahead and go up with my scroll, and you can see I have yellow boxes listed with our new additions. So we've got 2 beats of G minor 7 and 2 beats of C7 instead of just the 4 beats of C7. It's a very subtle difference, but it still adds a little bit to it. So let's go through and play an A section and a B section. Get your F ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, and you've got F again. G minor 7, C7, and F one more time. Second line, F again, and F again. G minor 7, C7, F to F7, B flat, and then F. 2 beats, and F, F7, B flat, and then F again, G7. And then we have G minor 7, C7. Let's do it again. F again, and F again. G minor, C7, and F again. Second line. F again, and F again. G minor 7, C7, F to F7, and B flat is played, and we go to F. G minor, C7. F, F7, B flat, and then to F again. G7, G minor 7, C7, end on F. Otherwise, we could be going in this circle for forever if I keep playing these changes. they're written. So it adds just this little bit of extra movement, and you're playing a chord that is very friendly in the key that we are in. So I like adding that in when I can, and it works like 99% of the time. On occasion, you might have a melody note where it kind of clashes maybe with that 2 chord. So what we did was we added we had a 5 chord, and we just added the 2 chord in front of it. So we have a 2, 5. Here, I'll do this. So we have a 2, 5, 1 happening in all of these instances, actually. This one too, 2, 5, 1. And even this one, you don't see an F chord here, but it leads you back to that one. So just something to keep in mind when you try out using this trick. But we can add more movement. So let's go for it. I'm going to scroll up. The other thing I also kind of look at when I'm looking at songs is, okay, do I have any root notes that are nearby each other? Meaning, are they a half step or a whole step away? And the first place that I noticed it immediately was actually in the B section. You'll see that I have little yellow boxes surrounding the F and the G minor. Now, you're going to say, but F, G minor, that's not what do you mean it's a whole? So I'm only looking at the letter. I'm not looking at the chord quality right now. I'm like, okay, the root of that chord is F and the root of the other chord is G. F to G, is that a half step or is it a whole step away? It's a whole step away. You have F, F sharp to G, right? So I'm looking at this and I think, okay, maybe I can add some movement to walk me up to that G. And so that's what I'm going to do. And you'll notice that I'm doing this also on the second line where it's F to G7. Again, I'm not paying as much attention to the quality of the chord as I am the root of it. Now, the movement going from an F major to a G minor is going to be a little bit not harder, but you have to be a little bit more careful with how you do it versus going from F to G7, because that G7 chord is based on a major chord. So you're actually it's not a huge leap to get from that chord to the other one. So let's look at that second B section that's labeled changes. And you'll see that I have 2 beats of F listed. And then I add my pinky. And then I scoot up to an F sharp minor 7. And then I jump up one more time to get to the G minor 7, which is that next position up, as opposed to this one, because I'm trying to go up in pitch to it. So again, I've got that B flat, sorry, I got the F, 2 beats, adding my pinky, move it up, and then move it up again. 2 beats here. And then I have a C7 listed as well, which is that next position. You could just say, forget it, I'm coming down here, and that's just fine too. The important part is the F, add a finger, scoot everybody up, and then G minor. Those are the important ones there. Now let's look at that second line. You have F for 2 beats. All we're gonna do is add 2 fingers to make F7, move it up to F sharp 7, and play the G7. So you can hear how this one was very smooth. Again, F, add 2 fingers, move it up, and move it up again. And now I'm on that 3rd fret G7 here, instead of playing G7 here. This is one of the reasons why you might want to play your second position chords. Now I want to go back to that second line where I'm holding that G7, because you'll notice that I gave you the next position G minor 7 to follow, and then C7. You could just jump down here if you'd prefer, but I like, because I'm already up here, doing this and then here. Okay, since I'm already in that vicinity. So just something to keep in mind. All right, should we give that B section a try? Okay, we'll do a tempo del lerno, and then I might speed it up as we continue it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the F twice. Add a pinky, move it all up. G minor, C7, and then the F. F7, B flat, and then 2 beats of F. Add 2 fingers, move it up, G7, G minor 7, C7, and 1, 2, 3, again, B flat, and then the F, move it up, G minor, C7, back to the F, F7, B flat, F, add 2 fingers, moving it up, G minor, C7. We'll do it one last time, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sister gathered flowers for a lay. Brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play. Mele old and new of Hawaii. Nice. And that would be one of the many ways that you could add a little bit of movement when you know that you're moving from, when you know you're moving like up or even down a whole step. You could do the same kind of trick even if you notice that there might be something a whole step down too. So this is something, to give a try at other songs that you know and love. And a lot of times you end up going into a second position of something whenever you do this kind of thing. So let's keep moving forward. So let's put what we've done so far together. That way we've got, can kind of hear how our song is starting to shape. And then we'll add, I think the next one is 1, 6, 2, 5s, which is really fun. So get your F ready. Here we go. An A section and a B section. And maybe we'll go back to the A section again. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, and then your F again. G minor 7, C7, and F again. You've got F some more, and talking F again. G minor 7, C7, F to F7, B flat. Here it is, F, and add a finger, move up. It might be fast, but it'll be okay. B flat. Here we go, and then F, add some fingers, move them up to G7 and G minor C7. A section. Let's do it again. With plenty of cow, oh, pea and salmon, and steaming hot Lao. We ate and talked story until we were pow. It was really my coffee at the Christmas Luau. B section. Sister gathered flowers for a lay. Brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play. Mele old and new of Hawaii. Nice. We'll just end it right there so you can hear how it's starting to kind of shape up. But we can do even more to it. And you also see in the text that I actually wrote that we are going to end up doing some things from the song arranging we did February 2022. If you actually have this on your iPad, you can click on that and it'll take you to that live stream if you want to watch that lesson. I believe that's the one with Diane Nalini. And then the Jazz Jam one is also another one that I reference. So moving forward, we're actually going to end up throwing in 3, 6, 2, 5. So we already have a bunch of one chord happening, which is that F, right? So now instead of holding F for 2 measures, 8 beats. It's kind of a long time. If you look down at A section changes, I am actually going to throw in an A minor 7, which is the 3 chord of the key we're in, and then we'll make it a D minor 7 for now, because that would be the 6th chord. And so we have a 3, 6, and then here, I'll write. So here we have 3, 6, 2, 5. Now, if those of you who are like, why is she using some little Roman numerals and some big ones? The little Roman numerals denote that it's a minor, whereas the big Roman numerals tell you that it's a major, okay? Or it's a chord based off a major chord. So that's why I have the little Roman numerals there. So we're throwing in a 3, 6, 2, 5 in this little A section, and we get to do it in 2 places. So I've given you, you'll notice, 2 versions of A minor 7. You can play all open strings. That sounds great. It's a lovely A minor 7. Or you could play this A minor 7. And I can't remember which lesson it was, but there's been a few lessons where we've discussed this A minor 7, and we've kind of gone over holding it in past live streams. So just a real quick recap, I tend to bar here. I use this finger to cover 2 strings, but you could cover 3 because that might be easier, because this one comes over and hits the C. So it doesn't matter that you're covering with 3. So you can give this one a try if you'd like. This is the voicing I prefer, and we'll get more into why that is in the next, on the next page. So looking at this, let's just go through and play this new A section. And D minor, by the way, D minor 7 is just D minor with a friend, okay? So this A section changes. Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got F, and I'll play the easy 2 beats. D minor, G minor, C7, and then F. And then F again. The different one if you want to do it, or just open. G minor 7, C7, F to F7. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, A minor of your choice, D minor 7, G minor, C7, back to the F, and then F again, A minor 7, D minor 7, G minor, C7, and F. Now we had one question in the chat, which is, can you go over how to switch from A minor 7 to D minor 7? So for me, what I'm doing, I always try to have anchor fingers down on the fretboard. So I've got my A minor 7 here, and I end up taking my index and kind of sliding it down the E string, and then I add 3 fingers all at the same time. So I tend to do this, and that's sort of fast motion and then slow motion. And I know Craig has some tips for you as well.
Okay, so it's a great question. I think it was Carol?
Yep, it was Carol.
So for me, I love, let me do
Ooh.
this for a second. Because I don't have a close-up camera for myself.
Sorry.
But from the A minor 7, again, looking at anchor fingers, for me, instead of my index kind of my anchor, I would actually use my ring finger as my anchor. So from here, my ring finger is exactly on the string it needs to be on. So I can leave him here, slide down, and as I'm sliding, that's when these guys kind of get in position. And then again, bringing the pinky down to close that up. But my ring finger tends to be...
no mic.
Oh.
Shoots.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I try to mute my mic during the rain, so and keyboard typing. But for me, my anchor finger for this one, I would actually use my ring finger, because the ring finger is on the string that it needs to be on already. So if you see how I'm using my ring finger to kind of drag down, and as I'm dragging, I have the time to flip these 2 fingers as well as bring my pinky down. So it's all about, what feels comfortable for you, and that's why there's no one way for any of the chords or transitions to play. But again, having that index 2 does help you kind of find that spot where it needs to be. So definitely give it both ways a try. I think you're gonna find what's comfortable for you.
Yes. And you won't always do the same transition the same way, depending on what chord comes before and after. So also keep that in mind as well. But excellent question. And Craig, thank you for another excellent answer. Anchor fingers are really important if you can. Sometimes there are chord changes where you won't be able to keep a finger on the fretboard, but if you can. And artist work students, I highly recommend looking at some of those finger exercises or the warm-up exercises if you haven't in a while, because those are actually part of what's going to help you be able to make these transitions. This one feels like a mix of like the spider and the it feels like the Aldrine spider and one more. I can't think of it right now, is what that one feels like when doing it. Let's see. So Rob, we'll see. I don't think I'm going to get, we'll see. Let me just keep moving forward, but about your F sharp or the half diminished chord. We'll get there, I think. And if not, we'll see. There's many ways that you can go through and change the song. So we've gone through and we've done this A section, but don't get too married to that A minor 7 to D minor 7, because we're changing it. So this, I think, is an easier change to make. So I'm actually changing D minor 7 to D7. Now, how and why am I doing this? Because that chord, that 6 chord in this key is typically a 6, which means that I have a note within a D7 chord that does not exist in the key of F. So there's 2 reasons that I'm doing this. One is just the simple reason of I like how it sounds. It works with the melody note, and I'm going to do it. But the sort of more technical reason why I'm doing it is that I like the sound of that whole step away mirror that's happening. So if you look at A minor 7 and D7, and then look at the next measure, which is G minor 7 and C7, both sets of chords are a whole step away from each other. And so I like playing that second voicing on that second line of A minor 7 to D7, because then all I'm doing is basically moving it down a whole step. Because the melody, that F sharp note found in your D7, it sounds fine because of the melody that's being done. If the melody was an F natural there, I probably wouldn't be able to do this trick. So now my 6 chord is a D7. And so it's got this great whole step, again, movement going on with it, where I've got that 3, 6, 2, 5, but instead of D minor, it's D7. And it has a little bit of a different sound to it. So let's listen and see how it sounds. Let's listen. We'll play through our A section, changing D minor 7 to D7. And I like people already saying, yay, I like that switch. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, F. And pick your A minor, could be this one, D7. Yeah, G minor, C7, back to the F. And second line F, some more. A minor, 7, D7. G minor, C7, F to F7. One more time. 2, 3, 4, F. And A minor, D7. G minor, C7, back to F, some more. And F again, A minor, D7, G minor, C7, F to F7. Woohoo! So that is that change. And I like that whole step change. The D minor does sound nice too, but it's just a bit more and gives that section just a little bit more color, which I really enjoy. Now, I'm going to take you on a journey that's going to require some suspension of disbelief. So, looking again at our A section, which I have at the bottom, you'll see that I have an area where there's that yellow box, okay? Now with this one, I am kind of thinking in another key for just a second. So I want to add a transition to get me to that B flat. And what I have technically here is, this is actually that second line, okay? Going into what, this is the B section here. So keep that in mind as you're looking at this. And so I want to have a chord transition happen there to get me to that B flat. So I notice that I'm ending with an F7. And if I think about what relationship does F7 have to B flat, if I look at a B flat major scale, I'll see that that F is a dominant 7, the 5 chord. And, oh, so that's a 5, that's a 5 chord of the key of B flat. Okay, well, maybe I can do that trick we did earlier and add the 2, which is a C minor. I'm going to play C minor 7. You could play regular C minor if you wanted. So there I'm playing C minor 7 for 2 beats, F7 to the B flat. And it actually sounds really nice because it's a natural 4th movement sound that we actually already did with G minor, C7, and F. And so that resolution to the B flat sounds really, really nice. And let's give it a try. It's going to feel strange at first just because we're not playing a full A section. We're just playing the second line of the A section going into the B section, okay? So it'll feel a little strange at first. But let's give it a shot, see how it feels. 1, 2, 3, 4, F. And then A minor 7, D7, G minor 7, C7. Now that's C minor. C minor, F7, B flat. And then I have the F for 2 beats, add a friend, move it up to G minor, C7, F, and just hold F3 for now. Let's try it one more time. So you can feel how that B flat really just, it sits in there really nicely now that we've added that extra movement. 2, 3, 4, F, A minor, D7, G minor 7, C7, C minor, and F, B flat. 2 beats of F, 1, add a friend, move it all up, move it up again if you want, C7, and just play 4 beats of F, 3, 4. Now I'm going to try to sing part of it. So 2, 3, 4, F, da, da, dee, da, 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 Bahia, Mahalo, sister gathered flowers for her lay. Move it up, brother, watch the emu all the day. Just stay on F. Fantastic. So that is how I would kind of change up that section, but I would do it again where you see F and F7 in the bottom line of the page, because it goes back to another B flat chord, right? Because for the second line of that section. So let's move forward. There we go. And now you see it in both places. You see it here and you see it here. Okay. So let's go through and play our A section where we've got the C minor to F7 business, and then our new B section. And we'll, you know what, we'll play this one a few times just so you can really hear how it sounds. One, 2, 1, 2, 3. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the holly was singing and dancing, and oh molly molly, F some more, A minor 77, green F for 2, and move it up. G minor, C7, C minor, F7, B flat, and then your F. Add 2 fingers, move it up, G minor, and, G minor's here, C7, again, F. The tables were loaded with plenty of cow, A minor. So I messed up 2, 3, A section. The tables were loaded with plenty of cow, O, P, E, and salmon, F, and steaming hot, low. We ate and talked the story until we were pow. It was really my copy at the Christmas luau. B flat, sister gathered flowers for a lay. Move it up. Brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play. G7, Mele old and new, G minor, Hawaii. Nice. So one thing I totally did not point out is on the A section, if you wanted to play here, that G minor, if you wanted to play it here in the C7, like this, like how we did the page previous, all you're doing is just removing a finger for C minor. So it makes that transition easier. I'm going to write those chords in so we can play it one more time if you want to try them. So your G minor was this guy all spread out, and then your C7, and that's on the 3rd fret. Okay. Okay, so again, that's G minor 7, C7, and then C minor to F7. Okay, maybe for this one, if it's possible to do a close-up while I play through it, and then you can watch what my hands are doing. Okay, so our A section, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, F. And then your A minor, D7, G minor, C7, and F some more. F2, 3, and then A minor, D7, G minor, C7, C minor, F7, B flat, da, 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 and then the F, add a friend, move it up, G minor, C7, C minor, F. Soon the music boys began to play. Add 2, move it up, G7, old and new, of Hawaii, C7A, F. The tables were loaded with plenty of cow, O, P, E, and salmon, and steaming hot, low. We ate and talked story until we were pow. It was really like hot. And I went back to the first position on there, F7. Gather flowers for a lay. Brother watched the emu. Just lift a finger all the day. Soon the music boys began to play. Mele old and new of Hawaii. Sweet. So there you can kind of see what's going on. And even with my C minor to F7, I tend to slide this finger down on the A string and then bring in 3 fingers. And I, again, bring them all in at the same time. If you need to for certain chord transitions, take a moment and just practice the transition, or even practice parts. So for example, if you want to do this with your F7, right, and just lay them down individually, practice keeping that finger down and just lifting, put them down together. And even doing just this exercise where you're making your fingers come down together is a really great way to practice this transition. Okay. like that. And then you'll find that when you go to add it all together, your fingers will start to work together a bit better just by even breaking down the transition into something as small as that. Yeah. Yay! Now there's more that there's more. There's always more. And what's funny is I'm only sort of giving you the tip of the iceberg because I sat down with Hale Hakusiburi, who you guys are going to hear. They're playing with Nue tomorrow. And he was giving me even more things that I could do. And I was just like, this is a lot. So there's always more. Okay, so here I have got that F, and you'll notice that I've added a chord. I've actually added a G minor chord there. So what I'm trying to do is just make it so I'm not stuck on that F chord for forever. G minor 7 is my 2. It exists in the key and is very friendly, and it's a whole step away from my A minor 7. I've heard some people refer to a move like this as like circling, they call it circling the airport, I think is actually what Diane Nalini said during our February live stream that we did with her, where you're playing chords that are in the key that's like a whole step away from where you're headed so that you can get there and add movement. But because the chords are friendly in this key, it works, and it works with the melody. So what I'm doing is 2 beats of F now, then playing G minor, and then moving up to A minor, right? Or you could do F, and you could do this one. That's also fine. But I've given you yet another thing that you could do, which is that second line of this new A section. I've given us a regular G minor, and you can actually move it up to the 3rd fret. And this is another way you can play A minor 7 that's very easy, but it's not really movable in the way that this one is. Luckily, it works with what we're doing because both that G minor and the A minor 7 require this G note, so we got really lucky being able to use it. So you could use either one. F, regular G minor, move it up to the 3rd fret, and then D7. Or F, G minor 7, A minor. Like that. Both sound lovely and work. Okay. So I'll go ahead and talk about the B section too. That way we could maybe play them together. So in this B section, I don't like holding B flat for a long time. As you can see, I don't like holding anything for a long time, at least for the purposes of this class. So I am actually going to do a chord to help me do some transitioning. So I'm going to throw in a passing chord, that B diminished, because it's a B flat leading to that B. And then you'll notice that that F chord says F/C. What's going on here is a slash chord, which I didn't explain earlier when this chord first showed up. Slash chord usually indicates what note you specifically want happening in the bass. And we are adding it actually in the top of our chord because that's a convenient place to add it. But for me, it's important to have that note very present in the chord if you can. You can't always do it. But that way, the movement that's happening in the bass or the root is B flat to B to C. Okay, so that's what your bass player would be playing during this B section of B flat, then the diminished, and then the, and you hear it on our A string, which is really nice, and then it moves up. Now I left in F minor 7 there, because, so this is a little bit different. So what we have here, and you don't have to play this F minor 7. You could just play that F/C if you prefer that sound for 3 beats. But here, I gave you another option that you could use. It doesn't always sound as friendly, which is where we're automatically switching to an F minor 7, then moving it up, and then moving it up again. Okay? This is something that you'll have to just choose what you prefer as far as your ear. I like this sound, but not everybody does, and that's okay. So the first line of that B section, we have B flat, diminished, then the F for 2 beats, and then F minor, move it up again. Now that transition going from the diminished to the F, my pinky is my anchor. So I've got this chord, and then you'll see my pinky slide up, and then I hold that F chord. So this might be a transition that I practice somewhere. You see me go back and forth from here to here, here, here. And again, notice that I'm not individually dropping fingers. They all drop at the same time. So again, if you have problems with your transitions where you tend to do one finger at a time, work on just honing in that individual spot, no matter what your changes are, and kind of going, okay, F, all of them. And just do it regimented like that, and it'll be super helpful for you. I do the same movement in our B section, the second line, where you'll see here, and then diminished, and then that same movement, except now we have F7 moving up. Now somebody in the chat said, could you move your G minor 7 shape up to make the A minor 7? So this guy, that one, this G minor, you could, absolutely. I'm just trying to keep us in this area, but you can absolutely play, if you prefer the sound of G minor 7 here, you can move it up to that A minor 7, which is, what is that, 5-7-5-7. So you can do that if that's what you're asking about. For closed, that's the key. It's got to be closed if you're going to do that. So let's go through and actually play the A section and the B section together. And we'll play slowly, and then I'll end up speeding us up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. F, G minor, A minor, D7, G minor, C7, back to the F, and I'll do this new G minor, move it up, D7, G minor 7, C7, C minor, F7, B flat, diminished, and 2 beats, and we'll move up to the G, C7, C minor, F7, B flat, diminished, and then F, F7, move it, G7, G minor, C7. Again, the tables were loaded with plenty of cow, oh, pea and salmon and steaming hot lao. We ate and talked story until we were proud. It was really my copy at the Christmas luau. B flat sister gathered flowers for a lay. Brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play. Melly old and new of Hawaii. The tale So I sped us up a little bit that last time, but you can hear there's a bunch of different motion, which I think really adds a lot with the melody that we're singing. I really love the G minor walking up. Like, it's a really pretty sound. We actually use this trick on the song Howly Hula. If you see Craig and I perform it, that's totally exactly what we're doing right there. So there's that. And then there is, I'm going to just look ahead real fast. Okay, yes. So there is one small thing that I'd probably add that you do see me add on the next page, but I'm going to add it here so we can try it out, which is this F. I want to do something different there. And there's actually something really easy you can do, again, if you're stuck on F for a long time, and it's the end of a phrase leading to another phrase that's beginning in F. And that is, you can add a 5 chord in there. So that's what I'm actually going to do, is I'm actually going to say, I'm going to stick in C7. Okay. So you've got 2 beats of F and 2 beats of C7 there. And then it leads you right back to the F chord. It's a very simple thing you can do. And again, this really works when it's like the end of a phrase. If it was in the middle of a phrase, it might not work as well. But generally, it's a good trick you can throw in. So let's play that A section again with the B section, and we'll throw in that C7 and add it to the party. All right. 1, a little faster. 1, 2, 3. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the holly was singing and dancing. 2 beats C7, Mama and her moo moo, Papa and his mallow. Greeting iconic, C minor, F7, B flat, sister gathered diminished for a lay. Brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play. Mele old and new of Hawaii. The tables were loaded, plenty of cow, and salmon. 2 beats steamed hot, loud, loud, F8 and talk story till we were pow. It was really good. C minor, F7, B flat, sister gather flowers, F, and move it up. Ra da 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 da, C minor, good, B flat. Soon the music boys began to play. Move it up. Mele old and new of Hawaii. Yeah. I love it. And I keep wanting to speed it up because it just feels so swingy with all of these additions. So now the only time you actually have a chord that lasts 4 beats is just our G7, right? Now that one, I like adding a stop there. So I actually only play it once. So, which is how I did it that last time. Mele all the new of Hawaii. I think that's a lot of fun with it. You could continue playing it for the full 4 beats if you want. But I would leave that one alone. That's the only chord I'm not really messing with. So you can see we went from having 4 or 5 chord song to like all of the chord song, which is really fun. And Craig, is there anything that you wanted to add to this one at all before we move on?
No, there's always something there.
I know, right? There's always something. Okay, and who knows? You might get inspired by this next one. Okay. So what I did on this next one was I just did a couple of small things. You'll notice that the second line of our A section, I have where is it? Here. There. You'll see that I have G minor 7 twice. And then I have us playing a 13 to get us to that C minor 7. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of showing you and kind of introducing you to a sound, which is some voice leading, where you can hear us like walking down in the center of a chord instead of just the edge, instead of just the high end of the chord. So you'll notice that for that C13 to C7 sharp 5, that it's leading us down to the C minor. So again, here. So I have C7. I'm adding a friend to the A string. Not sorry, E string. Thank you, Craig. And then I'm moving that down and then doing C minor. Okay, so my A string is this constant sound once I get into the C area. I could possibly, instead of playing G minor 7, I could play G minor 11, which I actually have listed in the B section here. If I wanted to keep this constant sound, I could do. But I don't like that as much as I like hitting that G minor and then, or to that F7, or to that C minor 7, excuse me. So there's that craziness that I added in there. Also, I don't really like playing F minor 7 in the B section, but I like playing this passing chord of F sharp diminished instead. So down here I have 2 beats of that F with that C note added, and then my pinky stays there. I form this and then just move 2 fingers up for F sharp minor 7 and then move everything up just like I did before. I like that sound better than that full minor 7. So actually doing that diminished passing chord in that B section is something that I just like the sound of. The other thing that I also did was some more sort of voice leading and changing things around, which is over here. I have a C minor for 2 beats, and then I have the F7 flat 9, which looks just like F sharp diminished 7. It's all about context as to why it has this name, and then I'm moving to an F9 sharp 5. Now all of these have crazy, crazy names. I don't want you to focus on the name. I want you to focus on what my fingers are doing, because your fingers can do this too. These are not ridiculously hard chords. And in fact, even going here, I could do this for my F9 sharp 5, which is 1 finger per string, as opposed to doing it like this. It's up to you, whatever you feel is easiest for you. And then this chord is leading me up to this 3rd and 5th fret B flat major 7 chord. And you'll notice I have a bunch of movement happening from then on. Right now, this here I provided for you just so that you can see how more places you can go. So I'm just going to play through this so that you can hear it. And then you can kind of start thinking about songs you play and kind of going, I wonder if I can try that in a song I already do. But this is just an example of like extra stuff you could throw in if you desired. Now, if you're singing the song and just trying to make it through the jam, don't worry about adding all this extra hoo-ha. But if you're just on your own, give it a try. So I'm going to play it kind of slow. So we have, 'twas the night before Christmas, A minor D7, G minor C7, and that F to C7. Second line, F, G minor, A minor D7. Here we go. 2 beats and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. B flat, the diminished passing, and then the diminished, move it up, and the C7. 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat, and moving it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, Melly on the new of Hawaii. Tables were loaded with plenty of cacao, all pea and salmon, and steaming hot lau lau. We ate and talked story until we were pal. It was really my car at the Christmas luau. Sister gathered flowers for a lay. Brother watched the emu all the day. Soon the music boys began to play. Melly old and new of Hawaii, etc. So I could play it all over again as much as I wanted. But you can hear just playing in other positions, like that F7 moving up to G7 up here. And then I just went through a variety of Gs to move myself back down so I could come back and down into this position during that G7
And it's these kind of arrangements that you hear in a lot of these old
Yeah.
albums and old recordings, and you're like, what is going on? Because yes, you could play the regular chords and it sounds great and it fits in.
Yep.
But you can hear that,
Now,
all this extra movement.
It's true. It's true. Your mic is on, yeah. Awesome. As I just wanted to double check because that was an important thing for people to hear. No, I totally agree, Craig. It's something that you'll also hear tomorrow during the concert too. Nue does a lot of really cool movement, and we actually have in the free digital program for that for tomorrow's premiere. The program's free. Please go download it. But there's a mini lesson where we talk about some of that. We went through with Hale Hakusiburi, and he showed some of the movement that they do, and we added in, and I try to break some of it down for us. So hopefully this inspires you guys to sort of think about things that have been taught to you either from us from past live streams or other folks that you've been doing lessons with, and adding to songs you already know and love, because you just never know how much you can change a song. And I always throw in everything in the kitchen sink at an arrangement and then pull away. That way I can really hone in and get it sounding how I want it to sound.
Well, that way too, you're experimenting with certain things that could end up being really cool, but unless you
It's
try
true.
it, you never get a chance to hear what it sounds like. Yeah.
And same with the feel of songs too. That's something we've discussed in past live streams, changing up how you would traditionally play a song. There was a song that we did on our album, Christmas Island, at Sleigh Ride. We were going to do it, I think we were planning on doing it more kind of bluegrass style. And then Craig, out of nowhere, just started playing it with this like islandy reggae vibe. And I was like, no, that's actually it. It works so nicely with that. And we wouldn't have known if we hadn't just tried. So always keep that in mind whenever you're doing song arranging, is try it out, because you never know. You might have something really cool that inspires you that gets the song sounding really, really neat. So are there any other questions? Hopefully I was able to get through everything and you aren't feeling too glazed over. So thank you guys so much for joining us live. Those of you watching the replay, I hope you're enjoying it as well. And don't forget to like this lesson as well as subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on all of the cool things we've got coming up. Craig and I have been doing some recordings. We've got some really neat projects that we're going to be adding to our YouTube channel. So you do want to make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss when those go live, so you can check them out. So yay, I'm so glad that people are enjoying this song and everybody's liking it. I like the one person who says, my fingers are so confused now. It's a lot. And so the biggest thing is, practice your transitions, really hone in on what doesn't need to move, and then how to make the rest of your fingers work together as a unit so that you can make those transitions happen a little bit faster.
One of the great thing about a lot of these closed movement shapes is that it doesn't matter what key you're going to be in for other songs, because you're going to see these patterns over and over and over and over again.
It's true.
Just like, again, how you see that like D minor 7 shape being used all over, or the G minor 7 shape, and again, moving all over. You're going to see all this repetitions too. It's not quite as daunting as you might think. A lot of it is shapes rather than individual song with all these chords just for that one song.
It's very true. And I mean, even looking at the first few, shape, move the shape, this is very similar. I could just lift and do this and play D9 instead, so I don't even have to move my ring finger. All I'm moving is this finger, so that would sound like da da dee da dee da dee da da dee da. It's the same kind of color, and then it goes back down to that shape again. So it's like I'm playing the same shape for like a bunch of measures, but just moving it around.
Actually, can you... well, let's see.
What would you like?
The one thing I'm going to add, just one
Yay!
little quick thing before we leave. So that second line... actually, go previous one up.
Sure.
We'll make it a little bit easier. So
This one?
That second line, F, G minor, A minor 7, D7, G minor, C7. Now, for that C minor to F7, one of the things I always look for when we have something like that, that's C minor 7... instead of going all the way down to the F7, you can go from the C minor 7 to an F9.
That's 2 3 3 3.
2 3 3 3, and then you can always sharp 5, and leads you up to the higher B flat, but all of a sudden you have that movement of G minor to C7, C minor 7, F9, sharp the 5, up to the B flat. So again, a little bit of play with that. And to me, this is always going to be a little bit easier, and it sounds better than going all the way down to that F7 there. So from the C minor 7 to the F9, you can sharp the 5 if you want, and it leads you to nicely to that note with the B flat up here. So just tiny little bit.
And the other thing too is, let's say you don't want to play F9 and you still want to play F7. Well, just move your bar up to the 5th fret. And then there's your other F7. Like, and then you can continue on. Like, it's endless, as we said earlier. So, and bar chords are great because you can slide them all over the place. So thanks for that, Craig. That was perfect.
All right.
Well, I think that there
Oh,
I
I
don't.
see Venetius.
Awesome.
Oh, great to see you guys.
Oh, I like Carol saying, I need a lesson on pronunciation. We'll have to bring somebody on with authority to do that. Even though I feel like I'm not doing too bad with my pronunciation, I definitely am not a qualified teacher for it. So maybe we can do a Hawaii language lesson one day.
We got to find a way to get some of the Brazil gang here in Hawaii next
Yeah.
year. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys so very, very much. Thank you again for joining us. Hopefully you guys can join us tomorrow for the live premiere. We do have some goodies.
Yes,
like
we
some
do.
Hawaiian Host chocolate.
Hawaiian Host chocolates. We've got GHS strings. We've got, there's a book actually that Ukulele Magazine is giving that's like a handbook for ukulele. That we have a couple copies of that we're going to be giving out. I think we'll be able to at least do a CD or two, though you're not going to get it till later because their CDs are going to print. But we talk about that in the concert tomorrow.
Yeah, Nue's physical albums are being produced right now.
Yes.
So they'll be shipping in the second week of December, I believe.
Yes. So you can actually, if you download the digital program, which is craigandsarah.com/backyard, you'll see the button, download it. We have their website listed where you can go to their store and pre-order the album. And as soon as it gets in their hot hands, they will mail it to you. So you can have a physical copy of their beautiful album, In the Heart of Paradise.
Awesome. Anything else?
I think that's it. And there weren't any questions. So I'm so glad that you guys had a really fun time with our lesson. Thank you all so much for watching.
And thank you, Carol, for helping us out in the chat again
Yes.
today. But it's great to see you guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving weekend next week.
Yes.
Be safe, be inspired. Thank you all for your support and for watching this workshop. Hope to see you soon.
Aloha.
Aloha.